My name is Chris Radford, Managing Director and Head Brewer of Brampton Brewery. It's a very small, local, independent micro-brewery. We've been going since 2007. But the whole inspiration behind us getting together and doing what we've done here was the history and the heritage behind the original Brampton Brewery. So it's got a history that stretches back to the early 1820s, and it ran right through until the mid-1950s and was a massive part of the local community. It was always very significant for us to be in Brampton. We could have taken a business unit on almost anywhere in North Derbyshire and called it Brampton Brewery, but I think it would have lost a lot had we done that, and it wouldn't have meant as much to the people in the community had we done that. So to be so central to Brampton, to where we are now, was always quite important to us. Brampton Brewery had such a rich history, such a fantastic history to it. My father was a publican, and he used to go on about it, so I suppose it was ingrained in me from a very early age. But it was just a massive part of the local community, and just the history and the reputation that it had and what it meant to the local people really just seemed such a shame that all these microbreweries are opening up. And we just felt it was a perfect opportunity to try and resurrect a name rather than start something from brand new. The business is good. It's increased year on year based on the fact that we now run and operate our own pubs. So for any brewery, that's the perfect situation to be in. It means you're not scratching around in free trade bits and bobs here and there. The pubs that we've got are great. It's the perfect position for any brewer to be in. History's told us that the original Brampton Brewery, by the time they closed, had built up an estate of 147 pubs. I'm not saying we'll ever get to that point, but history's told us that and we found it to our benefit that it's the perfect position for any pub, any brewer to be in, is to own and operate their own pubs. Only probably 2 years after we opened the brewery, we took on our first pub, the Rose and Crown, probably a mile up the road. And the Rose and Crown did ever so well from day one. It really, really did. Almost 12 months to the day, we opened the second pub, which was the Tramway Tavern, which is literally 20 yards from the brewery door here. And that's done ever so well. And then more recently, we've taken on the third pub, which is the Brunswick in Derby city centre. So we now operate those three pubs as almost as tied Brampton brewery houses, but again we have guest beers in there. We try to source the guest beers where we can, so we're not controlling, but we just like to make sure that there's always a good offer, a good and varied offer for the customer, and they're not getting the bland national products. The potential for breweries of this size, it's almost impossible to say. We set this up nearly 6 years ago now, when there were 450, 500 breweries in the country. I was wondering if we'd missed the boat, if we were setting up too late. Here we are 6 years further on. There are now almost 1,000 breweries in the country. Breweries seem to still keep opening, pubs seem to still keep closing. So quite what's going to happen to trade, I've really got no idea. I wish I had. All I know is that what's happening to the brewing trade now at this time is not unique in history. 100, 150 years ago, there were probably as many breweries as there are now. But it is quite unique in what's happening to trade, in that breweries keep opening, pubs keep closing. Where the future lies for breweries such as ours, I wish I could tell you.